You were saying about holding on to things and that can cause physical pain within the body.
Yes.
Can it also be trauma, injuries, mental, physical or emotional, that you've experienced in a past life?
Yes.
Also, can it be through your ancestors?
Yes.
As in parents and grandparents and what have you?
Yes, spot on, good question. So guides are here, so they're going to answer it, and I know some of it as well, and I'm like, yeah, can I speak to? But anyway, so the information I'm hearing, yes, okay, thank you. Their concern, or I don't know if I would say concern, but their thought process at the moment, as in my guides, universe, my team, whatever, and spiritual teachers here, are saying you're going to have that again at this moment with this pandemic, the emotions caught up with the pandemic, the emotions and the trauma that's caught up with this pandemic and how it's affected many people. Okay, thank you. Okay, I shall explain, so just bring this to mind. I had said, and keep me on track if I don't answer the whole question, I'll come back to you. Okay, thank you. I have said, and I've been aware that through, and I understand why, the process of me going through where my dad was in hospital, I couldn't go in to hold his hand. I could only message on the phone, which is really lucky for me, I could do that. But I really felt how I couldn't be by his side and feel that I wanted to be holding his hand. Now I know from when psychically and telepathically working with him and the other people in the ward, and he's actually confirmed some of this, that their loved ones couldn't be by their side. And so, and I've also connected to their loved ones going energetically along the line, that I know that that's creating trauma to those ones who can't say goodbye to the ones that are unwell, to the relatives. There will be this, there is this shock or this ripple wave of effect around the whole world regarding COVID, the pandemic, how it's affected everyone. Okay, thank you. And they also want to bring it back to also when we've had wars, you know, the Holocaust, how we know certain sections of society, how it still plays out in their cells. The Jewish community, my partner is Jewish, and I've always wondered why it is when we go to the flat in Vienna that I can, there was a bath and I was soaking. I was like, why do I feel this thing? I didn't know what was going on. And it was this panic within the room, and it was as if they were taking me back. And this is before I knew I was psychic. They were taking me back to an echo that was imprinted within this room, that his family were actually dragged out of this room, and a lot of them was taken off to concentration camps and never returned. So, you know, we know this in buildings, there's like an echo effect that can be left behind. Not that it's their spirit or their loved ones still stuck there, but it's an echo effect, a ripple, the sound waves that are held there. And so we know also ancestrally, going back many, many generations, if I look at my family, you know, there's stuff going on there. If I look back at all the women, and there's been domestic violence and stuff going on all the way down the line. And when I did some work ancestrally, I could see where it started from, and it's like as if it repeats its cycle, but not only from the psychological point of view, but there's also ailments in my family. There's a lot of, and we just heard a little while ago on the message that a lot of lung issues in my family, and that's like communication being stuck and held there. So that can be repeated. You know, my father had pneumonia, I've had pneumonia, and a few other members have had pneumonia. And we didn't live with each other, so it's not as if it's been in the same environment, but there's like a link, there's like a chain going on for each family member. And if we look at past lives, again, past lives can reveal what's happened in a past life. You know, one of my past lives that made me look at this as a past life practitioner was that in one of my past lives, I was a chimney sweep, and it's like all the coal and the soot that went into my lungs and damaged it. Now, they're coming from another perspective as well. Yes, family lines going all the way back, in past life lines as well. I've had clients where, one particular client, where he had a continuous pain in his shoulder blade. When I look back in past lives, and I'm very aware not to prime the mind and to say, I think this is what's happening, but to work with the client, they actually had a spear that went through his shoulder blade in a past life. And in this life, he's had it x-rayed and scanned and everything. And it was only when we looked at the past life did it naturally unfold what it was. And then he went on and he made a full recovery. He no longer has pain in his shoulder blade. So on many levels, your body holds on to information, on many levels that you continue for it to process through your body. Now, does that answer your question? Was there anything I missed out? Because once the guides start, I'm like not sure.